السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم أما بعد. We'll continue with our dars, eternal messages from the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala jalla wa ala, he mentions بعده أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ليتخذ بعضهم بعضا سخريا, that they may make use of one another for service. Surah Zukhruf, verse number 32. That they may make use of one another. Have you ever wondered why we all have different abilities and hobbies, and this diversity is what allows us, this difference is what allows us to help each other, to benefit each other, to service each other, and to build stronger communities. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala jalla wa ala, He has given each one of us different abilities. We have different hobbies, different likes, and through this we can benefit each other. For example, here, let's say in the UK, there is a shortage of doctors. One of two things will happen. They will invite doctors from abroad to come and fill in those gaps. In some cases, they will give free scholarships in order to get the next generation to become doctors. So they will invest in that because there's a shortage in that. And we know that doctors play a very important role in saving lives. But if there was any gaps, if there was a shortage, this government would take action by employing others, by bringing other doctors from, for example, even the third world. So we have a lot of doctors come from India, we have doctors come from Pakistan to fill these gaps. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given each one of us different abilities, and through those abilities we benefit each other, and through that helping we get rewards. And the Prophet Muhammad said, the best of people, khayrun nas anfa'um linnas, are those people who benefit others. These are the best of people. That I have given them a blessing, I have given them something good, and what do? They share it with others. They allow others to benefit from it. And this is why you have something unique. You have a quality that nobody else has. There is something you have that you can give back to your community. For example, not every human can become an imam. Not every human can sit and deliver lectures. Not everybody can do, for example, the job I'm doing. But then there are things that you are able to that I can't do. Okay? Some of you might be builders, I don't know, plumbers. You have something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you a special quality. Painting, etc. And that's how we benefit from each other. So you are benefiting right now, along with myself, from this nasiha that we are sharing. And there will come a time where I may need something, I might come to you, and you'll benefit me. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given each one of us something unique, something different that we can give back to our families, to our friends, to our communities. And the wisdom behind this, that Allah has made everybody different, is so that we can help each other. Imagine if we were all the same. We looked the same, we spoke the same language, we had the same hobbies, we had the same interests, we had the same specialities. There would be a shortage in many things. But the fact is, Allah has made us different. Allah has made us different tribes and nations so that we get along, we can learn other languages, we can learn other cultures. Otherwise, everybody in this world was Pakistani, and they all ate the same food and spoke the same language. And wherever you went in the world, you just saw Pakistanis, you saw the same food, the same people. It would be a bit boring. This is why Allah says to us, فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ. That go and spread in Allah's earth. فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَابْتَغُوا, and take مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ, from the blessings of Allah, from Allah's fadl. Take from Allah's blessings. Go and see the world, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created for you. The dunya is a bit bigger than Handsworth. Handsworth is not the only creation of Allah. There's many other things as well we can go out and see as well. So, how can we benefit others? A small practical exercise which each one of us can do, and it all comes down to, for example, muhasabah. Muhasabah is self-introspection, to sit down, to get a pen and paper, to sit down and write down all of the things you're good at. What are the good things? What are the things I'm good at? We're not talking about worship here. Remember, in dunya you have two things. You have a relationship with Allah, that's for you. Whatever you're going to do with Allah, that's your benefit. Your salah, your zakah, your hajj, your fasting. When it comes to worship, that's with you and Allah, between you and Allah. We're talking about the relationship with the people, because you have two relationships, huququllah and huququl ibad. We're talking about huququl ibad. Make a list of things that you're good at, and then ask yourself, is anybody benefiting from this quality of mine that I've got? First, appreciate and acknowledge the quality. This is Allah's blessing Allah has given me. Now, have I kept this to myself, or am I allowing others to benefit as well? Because even in huququl ibad, good actions that you do, you get a reward for that as well. So that's why the Prophet Muhammad said, Khairun nas anfa'um linnas. The best of you are those who benefit other people. Who benefit other people. So whichever blessing we have, we should thank Allah for it, and we should try to maximize the blessings and rewards by helping others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions in the Quran, and you've heard this verse. I always finish my khutbah of Jumu'ah with this verse. تعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. A short reminder, yeah, very powerful reminder. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran to help one another, ta'awanu, to help one another, ala al-birr, in actions of piety, ta'awanu ala al-birri wat-taqwa, and righteousness. Wa la ta'awanu ala al-ithmi wal-udwan, and do not help each other in actions of sin and transgression. تعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. Ith means sin. Udwan means transgress. So briefly, there are many benefits, there are many ways you can benefit others, but here are 10 short actions, small actions we can do in order to benefit others. Very small actions, but the reward is great. Number one, for example, just being kind, being gentle. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves those people who are gentle in their speech, who are gentle in their actions. And who is Latif. Latif is one of the names of Allah, the one who is gentle. Don't be aggressive. Don't be coarse. Be understanding. So be kind towards others. Number two is to initiate the salam. Don't wait for others to give you salam. You initiate the salam. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The three methods of giving salam. Okay? So give salam. Number three is to make dua for others in private. That's how you can benefit somebody. Make dua for them in private. So I know you don't all make dua for me all the time, subhanAllah. Yes? But you do it in private. You don't come and say to me, by the way, I did tahajjud last night, I remember doing the dua. Just make dua for somebody in private. They will benefit from your dua. They don't need to know. So make a habit of making dua for your family and friends. Number four is if they need help, don't give them no, don't say no to them straight away. Just stop for a few moments. Can I help? Yes or no? If you think you can't, say, give me a few moments, give me a day or two, I'll see if I can help you. But don't just say no to them. Somebody comes and help, I can't help you, sorry mate. Sorry, I can't help you. Yeah? There might be a way, maybe you can't help them, but there's somebody who can help you to help them. So we're talking about benefiting others. So by giving that person a no straight away is not really you trying to help him. But saying to him, look, it might be difficult for me, but give me a day or two, let me see what I can do for you. That's you trying now to help him. Number 5 is charity. Giving charity to the most needy. They benefit from your charity. Right now you send money to Gaza, you send money to Kashmir, you send money to Africa, many places in Africa, they have no food to eat. SubhanAllah, you help them, they make dua for you, you benefit from that. Number 6 is cleanliness. For example, cleaning the path. You come to the masjid, there's rubbish there, and you clean the path of the masjid. It's so much rewards. Even when you come into the shoe entrance and you see people have left their shoes on the floor, pick them up and put them on the side. They might not be courteous, they might be selfish, they might be lazy, but you're not. You know that there's a possibility that somebody could walk in, especially an old person not looking down, and they can trip over these shoes. There could be somebody who's walking into the masjid, young like me, yeah, who's looking down on his phone, just switching off their phone. We all come into the masjid, we double check our phones, make sure our phones are switched off. So you're not looking down, you're looking at your phone, and then you trip over somebody's shoes. And there's a great reward for removing things from the path, harmful things. And when people leave their shoes in the shoe entrance, this is harmful. This is harmful, and it's selfish, and it's lazy, because the shoe racks there. If there were no shoe racks, that's fine. For example, Jummah time, the shoe racks are full, some people leave it on the floor, that's fine, but leave it on the side. So cleaning the path, cleaning somebody's garden for them, doing somebody a favor, okay, in terms of cleanliness, there's a lot of rewards. Even cleaning the masjid. You know, ask the management, what days do you clean the masjid? I'd like to clean up, I'd like to help out. This is rewarding for you. We know of the black African woman who used to clean the masjid. The Prophet praised her. And one day she passed away during the night. She passed away during the night. So they buried her, they did her janazah. And they didn't inform the Prophet ﷺ, because they thought she's only an African woman. So maybe the Prophet really doesn't mind, doesn't care. So they didn't inform. The Prophet was very, very observant. He knew what was happening around him. He doesn't see the first day, the second day, he inquires. That woman who used to clean the masjid, where is she? I haven't seen her, she's not well. By the way, I'm paraphrasing the hadith, I'm not giving you a word, I'm just paraphrasing it. And they said, no, Prophet of Allah, she passed away. She passed away? Yes, she passed away, but she passed away at a time where we didn't want to give you any problem. We didn't want to make you up. So we gave her a bath and we did janazah and we buried her. The Prophet admonished her. That she, a woman who cleans the masjid, the house of Allah, and you don't want to give me taklif. And do you know that during the Prophet's lifetime, she was the only person who had 2 janazahs done upon her. One by the companions, and then the Prophet went and he prayed janazah on her, separately. She had 2 janazahs. Imagine how fortunate. Number one, imagine the companions doing your janazah. That within itself is a great blessing. Imagine the Prophet leading your janazah, and then having 2. And this wasn't a king or a queen, or somebody who was seen as being somebody very important, very intellectual, or a scholar. She was a woman who used to come and clean the masjid. That's it. And this was her ajr, her reward. So don't ever think that, this is embarrassing, this is rewarding. Cleaning the masjid toilets, shoe entrance, helping out in the masjid, this is rewarding. You're not doing it for the management, you're doing it for you. You're doing it for you. You use a chair, just make sure it's put back in its place. You drop something, pick it up, find the bin, put it in the bin. Shoes in the wrong place, pick them up, put them on the side. Somebody's left rubbish in the masjid, the bin is overflowing, push it down with your hand, wash your hands. These are small actions, great rewards. Small actions, great rewards. Number 7 is visiting the sick. Somebody is sick, they don't have anyone who's come to see them. You go and you visit them, imagine the reward you will get. People, nowadays people have become very isolated. There's very less interaction. People are living isolated lives. Even parents and children are living two different lives. I was watching a clip somebody sent me and it's gone viral. It's gone viral. There is a woman, 107 years old in Bangladesh. I was just watching this, I think it was last night or the night before. It's a clip that's gone viral. 107 years old and she lives alone. She lives alone. She raised all of her children. Her husband died, but then her children, they moved out and they left her alone. And when the local community who were giving this interview said to her children, why didn't you take care of her? Now you should take her, she's old, she can't live alone. They said, we haven't got space in our house for her. So she was living in a shed. And the people in the village, they said we could hear her screaming at night. And the people in the village have said not a single day has gone by where this woman screams and cries for help. They say, what can we do? We are poor ourselves. Whatever food we have, we just present to her. So now this woman is giving, this old woman is giving an interview. She goes, I thank Allah for everything. But she goes, I'm waiting for that day to come to meet Allah. So she goes, what really hurts me? And she goes, I'm happy in my state. Allah, this is the imtihan upon Allah. She's saying in her own languages, subtitles. She says, the fact that I raised my children single-handedly, I put food in their mouth first. There were days where I went hungry, just so that their stomachs are full. And now I'm old in this state, and there's no one by me. She goes, it's the loneliness that's killing me. She goes, nothing else. It's the loneliness that's killing me. And that's why day and night I scream and I cry. If I can, I will forward this clip on the masjid group, because I think people will watch this and benefit from this clip. So now when this interview she made, it went viral, as things go viral on social media. Since then, charities have been going to her house, food has come to her house, clothing, blankets, wheelchair. By the way, she's very healthy, 107, but she walks around herself. They've given her even wheelchairs, food, buckets, household goods. Her house has become like a warehouse of gifts coming from internationally from around the world. America, Canada, Europe, people are sending them stuff now. Yeah, so this thing of visiting somebody is a big ni'mah, big reward, a lot of rewards in this. Let's continue. Number 8 is encouraging people with good words, being positive around people. If somebody does something, don't put them down, don't belittle them. Because you don't know, that might be their best. That might be their best, that's the best they can do. And you come and you put something, you say something negative, you're putting their confidence down. Now let's say, for example, somebody, I don't know, cooked some food. And there was too much salt, too much chili. The first time they cooked food, they were trying. And you eat it and say, is this the best you can do? I wouldn't feed my dog this. But you don't know that's the best they could do. That's the best they could do, and they made it for you, and you turn around and say, I wouldn't feed my dog this. So generally, not just about food, generally when you're around people, say good words. Try to motivate them. Don't say negative things. And if there's something that you feel that I need to say in order for this person that he can benefit from it, say it in a nice way. Think, choose your words, and then explain to them, and then do the Islam. So for example, you say to them, you're doing this, but I think perhaps it might be better if you did like this. Rather than going and saying, oi, what you did, that's wrong. Don't do that again, do it like this. There's a difference. Number 9 is to join with them. If somebody is doing good work, help them out. This is how you benefit them. They might be alone struggling, but they're doing something very good, a good project. You go on board, you help them, you join in as well. And number 10 is what I've said to you, that you need to self-introspect, look back at what you've got. What is it that Allah has given you? What's unique about you? And the sad thing is, many of us don't even know who we are. Many of us, we don't know who we are. We don't have a relationship with ourselves. You might be asking, what's he on about? You don't know who you are. You don't have a relationship with yourself. Who are you? What do you like about yourself? What do you dislike about yourself? Like, you look at other people, there's something you like about them, there's something you dislike about them. What about you? Do you love yourself? Do you improve yourself? What is your relationship with you? Most people don't have a relationship with themselves. This is why they go astray. So we need to have a relationship with ourselves first. This is why, for example, when we make dua, who do you make dua for first? Yourself. Do you make dua for the Prophet first? Do you make dua for your parents first? Do you make dua for your friends first? No. You always make dua for yourself. Have that relationship with yourself first. So go down, make some notes. What is it that you've got that Allah has given you that you can benefit other people? I don't always just think it has to be Islamic. Even if you help, for example, somebody to read, to write, who knows, subhanAllah, they read to write, subhanAllah, they'll be able to read, they'll do something that you're going to get rewards for that. And who knows, that person goes on to even write a tafsir of the Quran. What did the companions do with the prisoners of war in the Battle of Badr? They were prisoners for the first time in Islam. For the first time in Islam, Muslims are prisoners. And what was their ransom? If they wanted to free themselves, the Prophet said, you will teach the companions, those who are illiterate, who do not know how to read and write, you will teach them. You teach them a certain amount, you're free. You're free to leave. Look at the importance of Prophet put on education. And like I said, this is why the very first word in our Quran is Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. The next two verses, we'll keep it brief. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions in the Quran, wa inni sammaytuha Maryam, and I have named her Maryam. I have named her Maryam. We have a major problem today. And the problem is that when it comes to naming our children, most of us now, I would have said about 10 years back, 5 years back, I would have said some of us, and now it's become most. Most of us look for names which sound good, which are modern, but un-Islamic. And teaching in a madrasa, you will get to learn names that you've never heard in your life before. So as Muslims, what we're meant to do is to choose beautiful names for our children with beautiful meanings as well. And we know from the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the Sunan of Abu Dawood is that tasummu bi asma'il anbiya. Tasummu bi asma'il anbiya. He said, name your children after the prophets. Wa habbul asma'i ilallahi Abdullah Abdul Rahman. And the most beautiful names with Allah are Abdullah and Abdul Rahman. Wa astaqwa Harith wa Hammam. And the most truthful of them are Harith and Hammam. So these are the names that you will be keeping. The names of the prophets. The names Abdullah and Abdul Rahman. Or then Harith and Hammam. Now Hammam. Okay? Hammam means somebody who's brave. Hammam means?
Hammam is the
toilet. Yeah? Hammam with a ha is bathroom, toilet. Hammam with a ha is somebody who's brave. Somebody who is brave and courageous. And he said, وَأَقْبَهُمَا حَرْبٌ وَمَرَّةٌ. He said, the worst of the names are Harbun which means war, and Murra which means bitterness. So when it comes to us naming our children, the first thing we should look for are names of the prophets. These are the best names. Ibrahim, Sulaiman, Yaqub, Yusuf, these names. Then you can, and Muhammad of course. Then after that you've got names of companions. Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, and so on and so forth. These are names. Then after that, of course, you've got names which are, according to hadith, they have some virtue. Abdullah, Abdul Rahman, Harith, Hammam, these names. After this, if you're still not content, if you're still picky and fussy, then you will pick names in Arabic that are pronouns that have beautiful meanings, like Jameel. Jameel means beautiful. Or then you can keep names of Allah, the 90 names of Allah, but then you would put Abd with it as well. Okay, you have to keep Abd as well. So Abdul Rahman, for example. You can't just keep Ar-Rahman or keep the name Rahman, because Rahman is Allah. And when you add Abd, Abd means the servant of Allah. The servant of Allah. There was somebody in our university, they had to change their name. His name was Ahadur Rahman. Ahadur Rahman. Yeah? One from the Rahman. meaning from the Rahman. He is one from Rahman, Abdul Rahman. Yeah, it can't be. It can't be. Yeah, so when he came, it was Islamic University there. So the principal, they said to him, you need to change your name. And I believe then they stopped calling him Abdul Rahman, they would call him Abdul Rahman. Yeah. And by the way, we need to know the meanings of the names as well. Yeah, it's very important. I was so happy. One of my students rang me just 2 days back. Lives local. They had a baby daughter, and he rang me and said, "I want to keep this name. Can you please clarify the meaning, and can you also tell me how to spell this name?" And it was a good name, subhanAllah. So I gave him the spelling. I said to him, "This is how it's in Arabic, and this is how you will spell it in English." And it's a good name. But now, sadly, we look for names which are modern, which sound like footballers, celebrities. Yeah, those are the kind of names that we are looking for. That's fine. Free to go. Sit down. Yeah, so these are the kind of names, yeah, people want. So give them also a name that's got a story behind it. Yeah. So for example, if you keep your child's name Khalid ibn al-Walid, this is a very big name. Khalid ibn al-Walid, the warrior. Huh? But that person is on the street corners selling, doing something else. Huh? So when you keep big names, at least let your educate them. By the way, I'm naming you Khalid ibn al-Walid. This is who Khalid ibn al-Walid was. So this, your child now can have this figure, like we have these. I'm not trying to resemble, by the way. You have these, footballers and cartoon, and the children want to be, they want to look up to them, and they'll try to live and be like them. So when you name them a companion, they should know who that companion was and what that companion did. So your children, they can live up to them as well, like that. They can live. So now we're Khalid ibn al-Walid, but the person's become a model, or the person's doing haram. And you ask him, "What are you doing? Don't you know who Khalid ibn al-Walid was? Your parents named you Khalid ibn al-Walid." "I don't know." And by the way, your children, I'm going to finish off now, your children have got 3 rights over you. Do you know that? Your children have got 3 rights over you. One of them is that you need to give them a good name. If you give them a bad name, you will be held accountable for this on the day of Qiyamah. Just like the father came crying to Umar ibn Khattab, said, "My son, he's very disobedient. He don't listen to me. Can you have a word with him? Can you fix him?" So when Umar ibn Khattab, we called him, and he was investigating, he was speaking to the son. The son said, "Oh Khalifa, before you question me anything, can I ask, do I have any rights? Do I have any rights?" And Umar ibn Khattab said, "You have 3 rights over your parents. Number 1, that your dad chooses a good woman to be your mother. Number 2, that your dad keeps a good name for you. And number 3, that your dad educates you, gives you knowledge." And the young child turned around and he said to Umar ibn Khattab, "But my father, he's done none of them. My mother, she's not a good woman. She don't even pray. As for my name, my father has kept my name Eagle. Yeah, so his name was something like a bird in Arabic. And he said, my father's name taught me Quran or Salah." So what happened? Umar ibn Khattab then called the father, and the father got to tell him off. The father got to tell him off. So this is why it's very important that when we name our children, we should give them good names. We should name them after prophets. If you're going to keep the name Muhammad, then you should call your child Muhammad as well. There's an incident where we had a student, his name was Muhammad Zidane. Muhammad Zidane. You know Zinedine Zidane? Yeah. So in our madrasa we call him Muhammad, because Muhammad is his first name. But when we'd call him Muhammad, he won't respond. So then he went home, told his mother, they called him something else in madrasa. And even schools, by the way, they would call him Muhammad because you are called by your first name. So anyway, she came, she said, "Why are you that naming? Why are you calling my son Muhammad? His name is Muhammad." I said, "But here's his application form. His name is Muhammad Zidane. So Zidane is his surname, Muhammad is his surname." No. His name is Zidane." So I go, "Why did you name Muhammad?" "Oh, we just named him Muhammad. We just named him Muhammad. But you need to call him Zidane." I don't even know what Zidane means. There are names now where people are keeping, like, I don't want to go into it, many names, because you might have family members and you might think mention. There are names people have kept, they're not Islamic. And one day this will have an effect on them. There will be implications. So keep good names. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر لي ولكم وسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه غفور رحيم.
Was he Moroccan?
Zidane is a Moroccan name, I think. Moroccan or
Is
Algerian.
he Arabic name?
No, he's Pakistani. The student.
No, I mean,
Yeah, Zidane, I think,
Arabic name?
is Moroccan name.
Yeah, Moroccan name.
Yeah.
This
Is it
one,
Arabic
I can
name?
call it.
Isn't it Arabic name?
No,
No.
Arabic. It's not Arabic. He's a Berber.
Oh,
Berber.
Berber. Yeah.
What's his name? Do you know his name?
I don't.
No. Yeah. Certain names they don't have.
Yeah, they don't have
They
many.
probably got a meaning in there.
Probably in their language, yes, but.
All language.
Yeah.
دو بمناسبة تيران جدان دو مورفين نا إيران جوي
Yeah.
تيران جدان سجان بيجي
Yeah.
إيران جدان
Probably got nice meaning.
There's plenty of names you can keep. Yeah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك.
جنة الحلو جنة
Grandson's name is Mohammed Zavian.
Muhammad
Zavian.
Zavian.
So I call him Mohammed, but
Okay.
what does Zavian mean? Do you know?